Hello. A very good afternoon to one and all. A very good afternoon to one and all. Now we all are here after lunch for our next technical session. That is on trade scenario of horticulture and value-added products, an overview. That is going to be delivered by Dr. Janelle S. Pepeng. I heartily welcome you, ma'am, here for this technical session. For handing over the session to ma'am, I'm just reading her brief profile. Dr. Janelle S. Pepeng is a native of Meghalaya. She did her master's from CAU Imphal and secured University Gold Medal during master's. She did her doctorate from NDRI Karnal and was also awarded with GST Inspire Fellowship during her PhD. Presently, Dr. Janelle is working as assistant professor in Department of Agricultural Economics at CCS, Haryana Agricultural University, Hisar. She has around 20 publications in her credit in reputed journals, books, magazines, and training manuals. Her areas of interest include food processing, value chain, natural resource management, and resource use efficiency. So I'm inviting and requesting to the ma'am to start your session by sharing your PPT. Thank you. Please, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Rachna.
Yes,
just let me share my PPT.
It is audible, ma'am. Yes.
You can hear me?
Yes, ma'am. It is audible. So,
is it visible to you?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible as well. Make it full screen and you can start.
It's done. It's in full screen now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is there.
So let me minimize my video. So a very good afternoon to everyone. I'm Dr. Janelle Pepeng, and I'm glad to join you in this webinar. And in this session, I'm going to discuss with you about the trade scenario of horticulture and value-added products. It will be a brief overview, and we will follow up with the discussion. So, as we know that India is a country which is blessed with diversified climatic conditions and soil characteristics, and due to this, we are having the opportunities, or we are blessed to have produce fruits and vegetables, and especially spices. India is famous in all the world, and in terms of production, it gives us huge opportunities to grow different types of horticulture crops in different part of the country, and which add up to the production level of India and to the position of India in the world production. And also due to this characteristic, our food habits, our taste for fruits and vegetables also, it's and also for all the other horticulture products is being developed according to our climatic and our place where we belong. So in terms of fruits and vegetables, India is the largest producer in the world after China, and it is also the largest producer of banana, lime, lemon, ginger, and several other fruits and vegetables. So this table shows the rank or the position of India in the world in terms of horticulture products. In terms of fruits and vegetables, we see that vegetables and melons, overall, India ranks second after China, and the vegetables and fruits which India ranks first are okra, banana, mango, mangosteen and guava, and lemon and lime, and also papaya. Other than that, potatoes, tomatoes, onion, cabbage, cauliflower, brinjal, and other melons, we are just behind China. So we see that it is encouraging for us to produce, because apart from being the top producer, it is encouraging for all the farmers to produce horticulture products, and also for the new entrepreneurs. Also, we'll discuss later in the table that we see that over the time, the share of horticulture crops or horticulture production in terms of agriculture output, it's getting, or it's increasing day by day or year by year. That at present it is around 33% out of the total agriculture output. And during 2019-20, just a brief of the latest production, India produced around, which is almost 100 million tons of fruits and 191 million tons of vegetables. The area under fruits stood at 6.6 million hectares, while that as vegetables, it's more than 10 million hectares. So this is how or what is the share of the horticulture crops, or fruits and vegetables, condiments and spices, and floriculture as the major items or components of horticulture. We see that the overall or the total maximum share is being contributed by fruits and vegetables, then condiments and spices, and floriculture. And these major components, they contributed up to 33% of the total agricultural output. And this data or this table, it shows just a year-to-year one-on-one comparison between food grains and horticulture production. We see that in 2008 and 2009, the horticulture production is lesser than the food grains production, but over the years, it has speed up, or it has catch up with the food grains production. And in this span from 2008-2009 till 2017-18, we see that now at present, the horticulture production is much more than the total food grains, which stands at around 311 million tons as compared to 284 million tons of food grains. So this is a year-on-year graph which shows the total production of fruits and vegetables in India. I'm going to concentrate more on fruits and vegetables as they have the maximum share in horticulture production. So we see that fruits, it's as in comparison to vegetables, its production is lesser, but overall it has also increased in 2004. From 2004-05, it's around 50 million tons. Then in 2009-10, it's around 71. Then now in 2017-18, from the latest available data, it is around 97 million tons. As compared to vegetables, which is at 101 million tons during 2004-05, and it has grown up to the latest around 174 million tons. This table shows the growth rate, or the annual growth rate of the area production of horticulture crops. So in terms of fruits, we see that over the years from 2010-11 up to 2017-18, there are in most of the cases, or in most of the years, there is a positive growth or a positive annual growth rate, where there is a time during 2014-15 where the growth over the previous year is negative. This is due to the area, and as well as the production has reduced during 2014-15 as compared to the previous year. So in terms of vegetables, it's almost the growth rate in terms of area as well as production, it has gone almost positive in almost all the years. Next are the flowers and aromatic plants. These are some of the new components or the new enterprises which can be taken up in Indian horticulture production, they are catching up in the international market also. If we see their growth rate and their annual production, we see that from year to year they are increasing, except from some years again we see in 2014-15 for flowers, the production and area, both the growth rate has decreased, whereas for aromatic plants it was during 2011-12 where the small decrease in area as well as decrease in production occurred. Other than that, the plantation crops and the spices, in terms of area and production, over the years almost they have increased. Again, there is a condition during the year 2014-15 where the plantation crops area as well as production has decreased. Now the spices is again in the spices we have 2012-13 where it is a negative growth rate. Other than that, the year-on-year annual growth rate is positive in almost from 2010-11 to 2017-18. So this is the share or the, in terms of production, the different components or the different types of crops in horticulture, the fruits, vegetables, flowers, plantation crops, and spices. This is the percentage share over all the horticulture production. So we see that in the fruits and vegetables, they contributed to maximum production, which is highest in terms of vegetables, as then followed by fruits. The others are plantation crops, which is in the third place, then followed by spices and flowers and aromatic crops. So if we look into the states, who are the states who who are the states who are the maximum producer or the highest producers who contributed to Indian total horticulture production, we see that in terms of fruits, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, all these three, they have contributed almost 35 to in between 35 to 40% of the total production in the country. So these three major states are the leading producers or the leading contributors to production of fruits, of fresh fruits in India. Then they are followed by Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu, and other states are like Bihar, West Bengal. They also contributed to a significant amount. So again, if we see now in terms of vegetables, we see that in vegetables, UP or Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal, they contributed very high to production of vegetables, and then followed by Madhya Pradesh. These top three, again, the top three producers or leading producers in the country, they again contributed to almost 40% of the total vegetable production in the country. And then the other states which followed these top three are Bihar, which is around 8%, 8.5%, then Maharashtra, Orissa, Karnataka, Haryana, Chhattisgarh, and they also contributed to a significant amount to the total production in the country. Now we go to the scenario of the trade that I will discuss more on the international trade. So before we go to the data, what does the data say? We see that India is a leading producer of fruits and vegetables. There is no doubt. But why India is not exporting, or why India is not able to export its product to, or to catch up with the international market? We see that even after meeting the domestic requirements, this surplus production we planned, or the Indian economy is planning to sell it for export, whereas we see that the global export or the Indian share in global export in terms of vegetables, it remained only at 1.7% of the world trade, and that of fruits is at 0.5%. Seeing the production or the leader, seeing India as a leader in production, there is a lacuna or there is a problem why we are not able to sell them into international market. So the main reasons or the major reasons that pull down the competitiveness of India in the international market or international trade, for the reasons for its poor performance are due to high delivery costs. The delivery costs, and also it takes time to transport the from Indian market to the from the ports, from the Indian ports to the international destination. Again, there is fragmented supply chain. Our supply chain are not well integrated, and also there is poor logistic with poor quality standards. These are the major cause, and the Indian government and several agencies which try to promote the export of fruits and vegetables from India and several other horticulture crops. They have taken up several initiatives, which we'll be discussing in the later part of our webinar. So to look into the data and what does it says, what is the position of India, we'll look that among the top 10, the top exporters of fruits and vegetables in the world, as per 2019 data, it shows that the various countries, USA, China, Netherlands, Spain, Mexico, Belgium, Italy, Turkey, Canada, Vietnam, these are on the topmost on the topmost share or the topmost exporters of fruits and vegetables. Whereas India, if you see the contribution that in terms of total export of fruits and vegetables, the contribution of India, it's less than even of Vietnam also. It's the country which is listed last in this table. Its contribution is 1.7, and in terms of vegetables and in terms of vegetables, and 0.5 in terms of fruits. We see that this total production or this total output which was exported from India, which is a share of the total in the world, this is very, very negligent in terms of the total international trade. Because we see that the countries like USA, China, Netherlands, they are contributing more than 20% of the, or they are sharing more than 20% of the total international export or total international trade in terms of fruits and vegetables. And the top importers of fruits and vegetables in the world are USA. Even though it is a top exporter, but still it is also a top importers of fruits and vegetables. And then the share of Indian export in US market is only 0.7%. And then the share of India in German market is only 1.2%. We see that out of the total value of exports of all these countries, top importing countries, the share of Indian products or Indian F&V, that is fruits and vegetables, it's very less in these, even in the top importing countries. This is the volume in terms of US million, the value of the exported fruits and vegetables from India from year 2009-10 to year 2020-21. We see that there is a slight growth from 2010-11. There is a movement of the export in terms of fruits. It has gone up from 299, then 399 year on year. Then again, it moved to 496. Then it is showing overall till the year 2021, we see that there is almost a positive trend for the export of fruits in India, from India. It means that this graph showing that India is catching up with the export market and is trying to compete well in the export market. Whereas in terms of vegetables, it's almost stagnant, except for there was some fluctuation in 2013-14. But if we see that overall from 2009-10, 2000 till the latest data, available data in export in 2020-21, we see that there is very stagnant or very limited growth in terms of export of vegetables. Am I audible? Hello.
Hello, Hanji ma'am.
Yes, just talk to me once in a while so that I know that I'm still
No, ma'am,
live.
it's coming. It's coming. It is live.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, then now we go to the India's import of fruits and vegetables. After talking about the export, we see that after talking about the export, now we talk about the imports, means what quantity or what are the amount of fruits and vegetables India is importing from other countries. We see that as compared to vegetables, India is importing maximum of fruits or fresh fruits from other countries. These values are in US million dollars. So there is extreme differences between the import of fresh fruits as compared to vegetables. So there is limited import of vegetables as in India. So looking into this, we see that there is widely and differences between the export and import. From India, we export less of fruits, whereas we import more of fruits. So the policymakers or the researchers and the stakeholders must look into this, right? Why India is still importing a large amount of fruits, even though it is a producer of leading producer of many of the fruits in the world. Now we talk and we'll discuss about the Indian export destination. I'll take into some of the major products which India exported to other countries. So in terms of fresh fruits, the fresh mangoes, the major importers or the destination of Indian mangoes are UAE, then followed by UK, USA, Oman, and Qatar. These are the top 5 destination or the top 5 importers of Indian mangoes, the fresh mangoes. And then in terms of grapes, we see that Netherlands is the highest importer of grapes, of Indian grapes in fresh form, then followed by Russia, then UK, Bangladesh, and Germany. Then other than these 2 major fruits, the other fresh fruits market or destination for Indian fruits are UAE again, Bangladesh, Iran, Nepal, and Oman. In terms of fresh vegetables, onion, as it is one of the major exporting commodity, onion, Bangladesh is the leading importers or the highest importers of onion from India, which is followed by Malaysia, UAE, then Sri Lanka, and Nepal. So these 5 countries, they contribute very much to the imports, or they contributed to the foreign market of Indian onions. Other than that, the other fresh vegetables markets are UAE, Nepal, UK, Qatar, and Bangladesh. So this data is showing some of the processed product, or we can call them as a value-added products, as the topic also includes some of the value addition. So the maximum or the highest value-added products which is exported from India is cucumber and gherkins, and also some mango pulp and some processed vegetables. So in terms of cucumber and gherkins, we have US as the highest importer, or as the topmost importer of cucumber and gherkins, and then followed by France, Russia, Spain, and Germany. So we see that cucumber and gherkins is more or less in the importing nations are the developed nations. And in case of mango pulp, we see that Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Netherlands, Kuwait, and USA, these are the top most importers, or they are the topmost consumers of Indian mango pulp. And the other processed vegetables, they are importers are like USA, UK, Germany, then Thailand and Russia. So we see that in almost this major importers of value added products of the Indian value products, USA is one of the major destination or market. And we should look into this in order to see what are the specification, like from our point of view as economists or as entrepreneurs and policymakers. We should encourage the farmer to follow the standard or the standardization methods or the limits or the threshold level for the certification of these products. So quality certification is very important for us to catch up with the international market. And maybe that is the reason why most of the fruits and vegetables from India are not able to compete in the international market, and they are not able to take huge market share, even though India is a large producer of fruits and vegetables. So now we go to the imports. These are the countries from where India is importing fruits and vegetables. India is importing maximum fruits from fresh fruits from US, and then followed by Afghanistan, then UAE. These are the three major destinations from where India is buying its fresh fruits or imported fruits. In terms of fresh vegetables, we see that Afghanistan, Turkey, and Egypt are the leaders in supplying of fresh vegetables to India. Second part of discussion is on value addition. So why do we need value addition in horticulture? This is like, if we see that due to perishability of horticulture products, value addition is like the safeguard or the safety measures, or we can say it is the risk to avoid the risk. Also value addition, risk in storage, risk in transportation, risk in trade. Value addition is one way where we can save a product. By definition in economics, we call value addition is the difference between the value of the goods and the cost of the materials or the supplies that we use in producing them. From the horticulture point of view, value addition is the process in which you get higher price for that same volume of your quantity of same quantity or same volume of your product or commodity. Either you process it, pack it, or upgrade the quality, or you do many other, treat it, preserve it. These are some of the examples where you can improve the value or you add value to the particular product. With the same quantity or same volume, you are going to get better price for it. So it means that value addition is nothing but improving the quality or making it more appealing, making your product more appealing so that it fetch a better price in the international market. For example, if we have surplus of fruits, we can use them for making jams and jellies. We can use them for, like for example, there is one value addition which is very famous now in the world. If you look into Brazil, they have used orange peels. They use them to make perfume. So this is one example where we can see that a fruit product which is being used for a very high value commodity. It's used as a raw material for a high value commodity. So you need only small quantity of this peel, orange peel, which is being used to make these aroma in or perfume for the perfume industry. So we see that agriculture based or horticulture based fruits and vegetables, especially, they have very good aroma. They can be used for value addition, and they can be used in several industries, as for example the use of orange peels in perfume industry. So these are some of examples where value addition play a very huge role. Excuse me. Some of the examples of value added products in terms of fruits and vegetables are like, we have juice, we have ready to serve drinks, we have nectars, squash, cordial jams, preserve. We also have toffee and some Indian products like amchur, pickles, chutneys. And also we have some canned fruits like canned pineapples. We have some fruit powders that can be used to make some ready to serve drinks. And also we have fruit concentrate, jellies, and we use fruit flavor in cheese. And also we have vinegar, which is also a product of fruit, and other syrups. And we can for production of wine, then dried products and marmalade, ciders, and pickles. There are several items which can be produced through value addition. So one must not restrict ourselves. Like if we say value addition, we should not confuse the word with processing. Value addition does not include only processing. It includes several things which we can take up, either by improving the storage, improving the transportation, the packaging. We make it, we make branding, we develop a particular brand for our product. We either preserve it in other forms. Suppose if we blanch a vegetable, it can be preserved, or if we freeze some vegetables, it can be preserved for a longer time, so its shelf life will increase. So also we can go for dried vegetables, dried fruits items. So these are some of the examples where we can take up as value addition. So why do we need value addition in our horticulture products? Is that to improve the profitability. We know that if a farmer is producing fruits and vegetables, his product is highly perishable, and he has to sell his product within a very short period of time, soon after harvest, in order to get a better price. Otherwise, the wastage is very high in terms of fruits and vegetables. And due to this wastage, instead of farmer getting output or in getting income, his whole energy, his whole efforts which he's done in production of his fruits and vegetables, it will be gone, or it will be a loss, or it will be going in the negative direction. Fruits and vegetables being intensive crops, also they are considered as high value crops. The farmers expect profits from them. So it is the need of the hour that we help the farmers to undergo food processing or food preservation, or changing its forms, or preserving it, or making adding some kind of value to fetch a better price, and also to save the product, to increase the shelf life, so that it can be stored for the lean period. The next is why we need value addition, is that we want to empower, or it will help to empower the farmers and the weaker section of the society, especially the women and the poor section of the society. Apart from empowering them, it helps them gain some employment opportunities, and also it will help improve the livelihood of the rural communities. Suppose for example, if mushroom production, if we see mushroom production now, the place where I'm here in Haryana, they have started increasing production of mushroom. They have create awareness for production of mushroom, but the farmers are asking that the problem is that they cannot market as fresh product the mushroom in the fresh form. So some value addition like deep freezing or dried form or pickle form, these are some of the examples where we as agriculturists or agriculture graduates or stakeholders who can help the farmers in small levels, we can help to empower them to add value to the product so that they get a better, or they fetch a better price for their particular food products. So the next point why we need value addition is to provide a quality or to maintain the quality and to keep it safe, and also to branding the food, we need value addition. Suppose if you want to brand a particular fruit or vegetable, unless you add value to it than what the normal market is giving, then you are not going to be able to fetch a better price for it. And also in terms of a safeguard, in terms of the safety measures, it will value addition will save the product from any microorganisms or damage by any pathogens. So in the long run, over the time period where it can be stored, by packaging or maybe by treating it through some methods or post-harvest treatments, these value addition techniques or methods will help to maintain the quality as well as to maintain the safety in order to protect the particular fruits and vegetables from any infestation of pathogens and microorganisms. So we need for secondary and primary emphasize for secondary and primary processing also to the farmers. And also, as we have said earlier, as we have discussed earlier, that fruits and vegetables in India have huge loss, that wastage, post-harvest wastage of fruits and vegetables are very high in India. By value addition, it will help to reduce this post-harvest loss. So due to reduction in the post-harvest loss, then we need to import less. It means that our requirement of imports or dependence of imports will be lesser if we could save our own production. And also with the surplus, if we are able to add value to our horticulture crops or horticulture produce, we would be able to meet the export standards or the export demands. And then with the increase in exports, we are going to earn some foreign exchange. So earning a foreign exchange by selling fresh fruits and vegetables is lesser as compared to earning foreign exchange with value-added fruits and vegetables. So it will value addition will also encourage a subsidiary industry, and it will reduce the market risk. It will reduce the market risk because we are able to hedge, or we are able to store the product as per the demand. We can release the supply in the market as per the demand. So that will also reduce the economic risk in terms of price. Then it will increase opportunities for the small farmers and the small companies through development of markets, of value-added markets. And then rural communities, as we have discussed earlier, that it will improve their livelihood. By value addition, it's not just the value addition will increase price, but also diversifying the products which can be sold. The same product can be diversified in different forms so that the risk also will be reduced and better price will be received. And last but not the least, our main aim is to increase the income of the farmer, or to improve the financial condition of the farmer, such that by producing any horticulture crops, the farmer should not be faced with any risk of financial instability. So financial stability from year on year or from season to season is our main aim to have the farmer, that is through value addition. So why value addition is important, or the importance of value addition? We see that in the medicinal, nutritional and health promoting values, there is huge value addition in this group of crops. And also India being the largest producer, we can process these products, we can process more of these products so that we can export them. And then also horticulture products, is one component which is a high value or high value crops. Apart from giving us fruits and as for consumption, they also produce several items or several pigments, several amino acids. They produce several oils, like oleoresins. They produce like several flavors, antioxidants, and aroma, which can be used in several industries like pharmaceuticals. They can be used in this apparels or textile industry. They can be used in perfume industry and several food industry. So these are the industry where the raw or the produce or the fruits and vegetables can be used for as a raw material. So in India, we see that per annum we are losing around 5 to 30% of the post harvest of the horticulture products. And then that is very high. I think it's almost 34% in terms of papaya and banana. It's almost 30%. The highest in terms of fruits is banana and papaya. And then if we are checking these laws, or if we are trying to protect the laws, then only will be able to cope up or will be able to succeed or compete in the international market. So the right material for value addition of horticulture crops are more profitable as compared, if you see for those any of the crops, due to the health and due to the contribution of horticulture crops, either fruits or spices or either vegetables, their nutritional importance is very important for human. And especially if we see that due to COVID-19, there is more importance, or we are moving more into consumption of fruits and vegetables. And there was shortage during the 2019 and 20 due to high demand of so many citrus fruit, lemon, musambi, or any other citrus fruit, and demand of kiwi and demand of papaya, and lots of other fruits are being demanded, especially due to outbreak of this pandemic. One reason is that because it is it is protecting our health, it gives us immunity. So as people get more modernized, more urbanized, and as they become more aware related to the contributions of fruits and vegetables in our nutrition or in our health, the demand is going to be high. So how to meet up this demand is through value addition. So there are several initiatives which is being taken up by the government in order to boost up production. These initiatives might be either to increase the production, either to improve the marketing agency or marketing channels, or either to improve the supply chain or the logistic, and also to improve the value addition or to promote value addition in fruits and vegetables. Some of these examples are like technology mission for integrated development of horticulture in northeastern states, and then NHM, or the National Horticulture Mission, the National Project on Organic Farming, and the PMFME, or the Pradhan Mantri or the Prime Minister Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises, which is part of the value addition. And then these are some of the schemes or some of the initiatives being taken up by the government. But what and why some of the initiatives or schemes are not successful? Because we see that in India, several schemes which has been launched in the country, they are launched separately. They are not launched as a holistic approach. So by launching them as a standalone scheme, it's not going to benefit the stakeholders or the farmers. So what approach we have to do is that instead of this old approach, which we are going for a standalone scheme, we should go for a holistic approach or more integrated approach, so that the production, the supply chain, the marketing or the logistic, as well as the consumption will be able to incorporate or integrate in such a way that we will reduce the loss, will improve the production, will improve the value, and also will increase the export. So this is one example, like the latest where the initiatives by the government has been taken up. Like what are the schemes which are for fruits and vegetables, like the PMFME. These are the applicable for fruits and vegetables. It has a huge outlay of funds. Then also the Operation Greens, which is for top to total. It means a top is the tomato, onion, and potato. So whereas a total is for fruits and vegetables. So instead of going as a single approach, we are try to go for a holistic approach. And another scheme which is related to FNV is the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, which is launched by the Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. And the latest integrated or the other integrated holistic approach is the Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture. So these four major schemes, they are applicable to fruits and vegetables. Some other schemes or some other sub schemes which are under the PM Kisan Sampada Yojana are like mega food parks, integrated cold chain, value addition infrastructure, and Operation Greens. These are some of the examples which fall under PM Kisan Sampada Yojana. So in conclusion, we see that India is lacking. The reason why India is not being able to cope up or to improve its value addition and to compete in the international market, because we lack in technology, we lack in infrastructure in terms of shipping or modern storage, in terms of post-harvest handling, in terms of value addition, or in short, we can say we lack technology and infrastructure for supply chain or to maintain the quality of the throughout the whole supply chain. The other situation is that it is due to complicated export regulation. Due to complicated export regulation, it means it's like most of the countries, they have very high regulations or very high standards, the safety standards or the level which we have to follow in terms of residue, in terms of pesticide residue, or in terms of chemical residue, and in terms of the package or practice or methods of production. Also, there are several countries have strict or stringent rules and regulation. For that reason, if Indian farmers are not being able to cope up or not being able to export their products. So one thing we can do is that we aware the farmers, or we incentivize the farmers, make them sensitive or make them understand the rules and the regulations, the international regulations for the markets, especially like the Middle East market, the European markets, and US market. For them being the top importers of fruits and vegetables from India, if we let the farmers know about their regulations of the safety measures which they require, the standard which they require, then that should be the need of the that should be the work which we as agriculturists we should do. And also exporters from India, they face enormous difficulties because they are not well equipped. Being a single or sole exporter, he is not well equipped on various parameters in terms of regulatory measures, in terms of maintaining the quality standards, and in terms of getting information regarding the global export opportunities. So looking one guidance also should be given to the exporters in terms of all these components, and also the tariff on export, then production scenario, and also the farmers should be able to, or the exporters should be able to know about the trends, the movement of the demand in the international market. So that would be the strategic approach. So in view of all the above challenges or needs which the country need, or the horticulture department in the country need, the government of India have launched a trade division of the Ministry of Agriculture. It has launched one project which is under head by NAFED or which is being supervised by NAFED. The name of the project is Market Intelligence Study of Selected Crops Having Export Potential. So this project is going on, and it's looking into what are the crops, which area, which particular commodity can be a potential for our export earnings. Thank you, and we can discuss now.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your informative session on the different segments of the topic. You explained each and everything in a very sweet manner. The topic covered by you includes the horticultural scenario in India, that is area and production, different leading states in production, export and import of exporter and importers of different fruits and vegetables and their value-added products, and the need and importance in the recent era for the value addition, different government schemes, challenges, and your concluding remarks. Thank you, ma'am. It was a wonderful experience listening to you. We hope together we also make such kind of bonds again in the future. Thank you, ma'am. We are moving to the question answer session. Actually, we are having 4 questions from the participant side. I'm just reading before you.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. First one is what in your slide it was there is a poor performance in the international market for the fruits and vegetables, and the reason was the poor quality standards. So it is from the exporter side, or like on behalf of the government we are facing?
Poor quality standards, it's not just the government, it's we can say it's a composite. The government, one reason is that if we are not able to get good infrastructure, because due to low infrastructure or due to certification also, we need to be done by ISO. Like we have to follow ISO certification or ISO standards. So if we are not able to maintain the standards, one is that at the post-harvest level itself, at the farm level itself, if the farmer is not able to meet up to the international standard, then the exporter also will face the problem. So it's not just the exporter or the government. For this poor quality, it's, as we say, that it is from the time the seed is put into the field till the time the seed reached the customer, or the product reached the customer. Every step is very important in maintaining the quality. One is that for quality, like for the standards, like many countries, they have a specific level for residue in there. If it is not an organic product, or the methods of production also, then the export. In the exporters, they are not having facilities for proper storage, cold storage, or maybe they don't have good supply chain or logistic, because it is costly. It's in the private sector and it is costly. So this structure of the supply chain also, it add up to the poor quality of the product.
Right. The second is actually in one of the slide there was a figure, and there is a drastic change or like increase in the export during the fresh vegetables export during the year 1920 over the year 1820. Actually, it was there in the 16 number slide, I think.
16 number slide. Just
16,
let me
16. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So there is actually over the period of 1819.
Imports.
1920, yes. In 1920, the total fresh vegetables export is like drastically increased.
Ma'am, this is vegetables imports.
Right.
Vegetable imports.
Yes.
So during that time, the imports of vegetables in India has increased very high. For this, I'm sorry, I didn't check into the reason why for what reason imports of vegetables from other countries is high for this particular year. Let me, ma'am.
Because this was, I think this is an era, like we were facing the pandemic during the year 1819.
It was the pandemic
and
era.
After that, the import has increased, like there is a drastic increase. Like 3.42, it is 83.46. So
in terms of fruits, we can understand that due to
right. This is little bit changes there. Right. Okay, fine, ma'am. Actually, I'm moving to the next question.
okay.
Okay. One of the question was there, why there is a less export in the case of fruits, because India is the second largest exporter, second largest producer in the case of fruits and vegetables. So what is the reason behind this? Main reason we can say actually.
Main reason is that one is the post-harvest loss, and domestic demand also is very high. If you see that apart from exporting, apart from, even though India is very high producer of fruits, if you see the imports, the import is also very high. So it means that it shows that why India is still need to import fruits, and even though it is a large producer or highest producer, this shows that we are having shortage in the domestic market. The cause for that might be due to loss, the wastage, because wastage is very high for fruits and vegetables. And so to solve this problem, it's only the value chain, the improvement in the value chain and supply chain be the only methods to solve this problem.
Right. Okay, and I think this is the
and
last
if you
one.
see that one among the fruits, even though India is importing the fruits, I didn't give the exact crop wise, but if we see into the fruit wise or crop wise production, in terms of grapes, we have jumped so much from production from sale during the year 2019 to 2020. That is almost 3 times increase in export of grapes from India. So it's not that we are increasing imports, but we are also increasing our exports by many folds. And if you see this increase in export for grapes, it is added up to the overall fruit export. You see this blue line or the blue graph curve is the fruit export. So if we see that has jumped very high as compared to vegetables. This is one contribution is being done by grapes, which has tripled in case of grapes export.
And last one actually is how One District One program will encourage the value addition in your view?
I can't understand. Pardon, can you repeat the question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. How the One District One program will encourage the value addition in case of fruits and vegetables?
Can you speak slowly?
Yes, ma'am. How one district?
One. Okay. How
one district, one project will encourage the value addition in case of fruits and vegetables? Yes,
okay,
one district,
one product. Yes, ODOP. Yes. You mean about ODOP?
Yes, ma'am. ODOP.
How this value addition in the sense that if one ODOP, through ODOP, we can get more quantity. Okay, a particular district which is comparatively advantage in production of a particular fruit or particular vegetable, if they are producing more, it means that the farmer are getting due to the government, they started these processing centers at some circles. Suppose different villages are there, and one particular circle they are installing some processing units. So they by letting them know or the information regarding this processing unit, that particular district, the processing unit for that particular product, it will help them know about it. And not only that, like suppose for, if you see like lychee in Bihar, I think if you can, Muzaffarpur, have you heard about Muzaffarpur, about Bihar? It is one of the leading producer of lychee. So if lychee in that particular area is being produced by almost all the farmers, one thing is that due to their large scale production, the processing unit, or they can take up these processing, they can convert it into juices and then or into some other products. So the large, or we can call like economies of scale, like the more the production means the more the value addition we can do, and it will be efficient to install any kind of processing units if we go through ODOP. Like viability of these processing unit will be better if you have huge production for in a small area.
Okay. So once again, thank you, ma'am, for clearing our concepts and enhancing our understanding in this horticulture, especially in the case of fruits and vegetables. Thank you, ma'am. It's a wonderful experience with you. So before moving to our plenary session, I think we are taking a short break of 2 minutes. Please be with us, all of the guys. Our today's chief guest of the plenary session is going to be joined with us. So okay, we are proceeding to our plenary session of this 2 days webinar, and I'm just
Kalamka sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. A very good afternoon to one and all. And now we all are moving to our plenary session of the 2 days webinar on emerging agricultural marketing trends and challenges. And first of all, we are done with all the technical sessions very smoothly and timely as well. So without taking much time, I am requesting to Dr. R.S. Pandit, Principal MD in IABMI and PI of this Nahib Caste project to AAU. I'm requesting you, to sir, please give your welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rachana. First of all, in this 2 days webinars plenary session, I would like to welcome, first of all, directly coming to our chief guest and director, AERC, SP University Vidyanagar, we all know, Dr. Kalamkar. Welcome you, sir, in a very simple way. Sir, listening you always is very, very useful. And of course, it is an opportunity for everyone, particularly to the PG students, researchers, and maybe policymakers. We know your wide knowledge in all agriculture area, most of the areas, particularly in the policy front, is wonderful, sir. We are here to listen you and to have your observations on this our 2 days workshops plenary session, sir. Once again, welcome you, sir. I also welcome my colleague and head of department of agriculture economics. And we know that this 2 days webinar was organized in collaboration with our Center for Agriculture Market Intelligence under Nahib Caste, as well as Department of Agriculture Economics, BSA College of our university, both. So I welcome Dr. K.S. Yadav, sir, Head of Department of Agriculture Economics. Welcome you, sir. I also welcome the organized secretary and very dynamic, knowledgeable Dr. Ganga Devi. And of course, Dr. Y.L.R., Joint Organized Secretary, all the committee members, program committee members, and of course, our colleagues, and Dr. Narendra Singh, who was also our chief guest and keynote speaker in the inaugural session. Welcome you, Dr. Saab. You are here, and we were expecting you to be here in this plenary session of this program. So I also welcome all my committee members and program coordinators, and of course, all the participants in this plenary session. Sir, just a few things, only few words, nothing more, because this was an effort. And we have in this Center for Agriculture Market Intelligence under Nahib Caste, many activities, as we all know here. But 2 activities are known activities, important activities. One is research, other one is capacity building program. apart from other many activities, foreign visits, this and that, others. So we have 4 basic objectives of this project under NAHEP CAST. One, centric to price forecast, demand and supply of food grains, fish, and dairy products. And second is centric to international trade or global intelligence. Third one is on marketing, including institutions like INAM, and fourth one in commodity markets and FPOs. And second major activity is capacity building programs. And this today's program, is a plenary session of today's program, is a part of capacity building program. We have 7 groups under this center, and one group is headed or by CCPI, core co-PI, Dr. Gangadevi. And we are here to see today some output also based on that. And there are many other activities. We have conducted a large number of programs over the last about 3 years under this project. Some in collaboration is very non-premium institutions also. More than 70 programs we have conducted, if I say to be more specific about the capacity building programs. And some 18 research studies to fulfill the 4 objectives, research objectives are underway. Some have already been almost completed, draft submitted, and some are likely to be completed. And more specifically to Dr. Nansing and Dr. Kalamkar sir. So now this project is extended for 1 more year, though earlier we got the extension for 2 years from World Bank and ICR, NAHEP up to 2024. But now again, we have received that it's only up to November 2022. So we have to complete all the activities, mainly the research projects going on, and 5-6 major consultant experts, national, international, they are there. But we are comfortable, we feel comfortable, and we are sure that we'll be able to accomplish all these activities during this period. And we are receiving quite good satisfactory comments at our end, and we have to go along with. So this capacity building programs, within capacity building programs, we are receiving very good feedbacks from the participants, mainly from the universities, ICR institution, and others also. And this program, within this program, this farmer producers organizations, or maybe the marketing, within marketing, emerging areas in marketing and FPOs, very, very important. And people are asking us to even have some more program on these areas. And they want to listen it. And important point is, it's not only listening, but knowing some new frontiers, maybe some observations regarding these programs. Like today we have Dr. Kalamkar, sir, we would like to have your own observations also, apart from the observations which we read by the organizing secretary, Dr. Gangadev, so that we may prepare these things in some write-up, and we are maintaining, and we also send these things as the proceedings to the concerned organizations, ultimately, particularly to NAHEP CAST daily, as well as we keep with ourselves. So these are few points from my side. Once again, I welcome all the dignitaries as well as all the participants. Thank you, sir. Over to you, Dr. Rachana.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to request Dr. Ganga Devi, Organizing Secretary and CCPI, NAHEP CAST AU Anand, for the observation of this 2 days webinar. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rachna. Respected Dr. S.S. Kalamkar, Director ARC, Vallabh Vidyanagar, SP University. Dr. R.S. Pundit, sir, Principal and Dean, IABMI. Dr. K.S. Jadhav, sir, Professor and Head, Department of Agriculture Economics. Dr. Rachna, Dr. Y.A. Lard, CCPI of this NAHEP CAST project. All my faculty members and the staff members of NAHEP, as well as the Department of Agriculture Economics. I'm very happy to say that we are successfully completed our 2 days webinar that is on emerging agriculture marketing trends and challenges. So now I'm proceeding with the report of this 2 days webinar. Yeah, so just I want to give the overview about the webinar, sir, for these 2 days. There is no need to share the screen. There are total number of 6 technical sessions was held during these 2 days, and the total number of participants were registered for this particular webinar was 1842, including 531 faculties, 602 PG students, and the 709 other stakeholders, including UG as well as our farmers and traders also. So total 1842 registrations we got for this webinar. With regards to the technical session, so in the first day of the webinar, that is 29 April 2022, the technical session first was held, and the keynote speaker for this technical session was Dr. Narendra Singh, Professor and Head, Department of Agriculture Economics, that is the NAU Navsari. And he highlight and he talk about the three primary aspects of marketing, that is agriculture marketing, status and their challenges, need for reforms in the agriculture marketing, the government interventions in the agriculture markets. He later discussed about the strength and weakness of the agriculture marketing system. As we know, there are many issues and challenges also we are facing in the agriculture marketing system, even though we are having many models and many efficient marketing system. He shared that the establishment of FPOs can provide economy of scales to the small farmers. Lastly, he gave really the nice insights based on his vast experience on how APMCs can be used in the PPP mode for sustainable development of the agriculture system. So it was a great lecture, and he provided a very good literature on this technical session 1. Now, the technical session 2 was the resource person for the technical session 2 is Dr. Swaminathan, Assistant Research Scientist from the Department of Agriculture Economics, Junagadh Agriculture University, Junagadh. The topic was online marketing prospects and challenges. As we know that nowadays the online marketing is very popular, and it's discussing on the every platform. So we know that the importance and the significance of online marketing. I think in pandemic kind of situation, it is a very important. So Dr. B. Swaminathan first talk about the genesis of the digital revolution in India, how it was takes place, life before and after the internet era, what kind of life we are having before the internet era and how we are after the internet era. He also informed regarding e-marketing, its advantage and how it is different from traditional marketing. He gave a really detailed explanation about different e-marketing strategies and its importance in the agriculture marketing. And he ended the session with elaborated some success stories also with regards to the online marketing and the internet marketing. So it was also a very good lecture and very good section, which is held by the Dr. Swaminathan from the Junagadh Agriculture University. Now, the third session on the same 29th April 2022 of the first day of the webinar, that is the resource person for this technical session was Dr. Sumit Mahajan, Assistant Professor, Dairy Economics, LUVS, Hisar, Haryana. The topic was value addition, processing and marketing of agriculture products. So as we know that about our 25 to 30% produce is lost only due to the poor post-harvest management and due to the lack of this value addition processing. So I think it was a great lecture, and it is also helpful to our farmers and other stakeholders how to add the value in our agri-produce and how we can increase the share of our value addition and the processing in our agri-produce. He highlighted the current status of food processing industry in India, how they generate the employment, how the women are playing the role in the food processing industry. He conveyed various policy initiatives by the government of India for the food processing industries, as well as what kind of challenges the food processing industries are facing during the pandemic situation, as well as other general challenges, what kind of facing by the food industry. He also talked about the present status of agriculture marketing in India, FPOs and its impact. Obviously, the FPOs are also playing the important role for the processing and value addition. Organized retailing in agri-food products, FDI in retailing and agriculture supply chain, how it will work, how it was integrated forward as well as the backward side. So it was also a very good session for the value addition and processing of marketing of agriculture products. Then the fourth session, 13th April 2022, that is the resource person for this technical session was Dr. Shivraj Singh, Assistant Professor from the Department of Agriculture Economics, Sardar Krushi Nagar, Dantewada Agriculture University, Dantewada. The topic was marketing and trade of organic farming. Nowadays, we all know that the importance of the organic farming. We all aware about the organic farming. So he started his talk by explaining the organic farming concepts, its importance and status in the India in a very detailed manner. He also talked about growth in organic food markets, how the organic food markets are growing in our country as well as the globally also. marketing mix, what kind of strategies we need to we need to create the awareness about the organic farming. So marketing mix, like 4 P's of marketing we can use to aware about the organic markets. Then ways to select the marketing channels, including direct and indirect marketing channels, he also explained. He also discussed about the SWOT analysis, what kind of strength, weakness, and opportunities and the threats we are having in the organic farming as well as in the organic markets. What kind of problems faced by the exporters and the various schemes implemented by the government of India to promote the organic farming. So it was a very good session, and it was a wonderful session, we can say. We lot learned from this session. Then again, the same day, our fifth technical session, the resource person for that session was Dr. R.S. Pundit, Principal and Dean, IABMI, AU Anand, PI of Naheb Caste, AU. The topic was farmer producer organizations, a way forward. We all know that nowadays, what is the importance of the farmer producer organizations, and every platform we are discussing and talking about the farmer producer organizations. As we all know that it's a group approach because our most of the farmers are small and marginal. So this is only the solution. We can integrate the farmers at the platform by these kind of model. So he highlighted the scenario of Indian agriculture. What is the concept of the FPO? Its need. What is the need of the FPO? How they are playing the role in our rural economy, and what kind of features and the various acts under which the FPOs are registered. So many things he covered. He explained the difference between the FPOs and the cooperatives. We know that FPOs are also running on the same principles like cooperative, even though we are having the difference between the FPOs and cooperative, even though difference is there between the successfulness of the FPOs which is built under the Cooperative Act and the FPOs which is built under the Companies Act. So he also focused on that area. Then what is the difference between the private limited company in a detailed manner, as well as the services which is offered by FPO to its members, including the principles for sustaining FPO development. Because we know that our government targeted the 10,000 FPOs, but even we are achieving the target also, but the question is the sustainability, how the FPOs can sustain. So he also, in the very good manner, in a detailed manner, he explained everything, how they can sustain, what kind of challenges they are facing. He also discussed scenario of FPOs at national as well as the Gujarat particularly. Various schemes for FPOs, formation benefits of FPOs, the promotional schemes for FPOs also he discussed in a very elaborate or very wide manner, we can say. He also explained the role of NABARD, what kind of role the NABARD is playing to the FPO, what is the role of FSC and the NCDC for promoting the FPO. He also provided brief on Ministry of Cooperation and the organization for the implementation and its monitoring mechanism. He also narrated the recommendation for viability of the FPO's ecosystem and key issues and challenges for successful of the FPO. And further, he elaborated the topic with case studies of FPO. He also explained many case studies, how the FPOs can be sustained, how they are sustaining in our country also. So it was a wonderful lecture, and it was a good experience we can see with Dr. R.S. Pundit, sir. Then the last technical session for the 2 days, that is the technical session 6. The speaker was Dr. Janalin S. Papang, Assistant Professor from the Department of Agriculture Economics, CCHAU, Hisar, Haryana. The topic was trade scenario of horticulture and value-added products and overview. She shared detailed analysis of current status of horticulture sector in India, along with the comprehensive scenario of export and import of fruits and vegetables, how we are competitive in the global market, what kind of scenario with regard to export, import, what is the status of the export, import with country-wise, what destinations we are having product-wise and the profile. So she gave the detail and very rich material about the export and import of the fruits and vegetable, and we can say the trade for the horticulture products. Also, she mentioned on the value-added products, as already I have told, value addition is, I think, very necessary to overcome our the post-harvest losses, that is up to 25 to 30%, which is goes in the losses. So this is only the way we can reduce and we can overcome the losses due to the value addition and processing, because our horticulture products are perishable in nature. So without value addition and processing, we can't do the better. She also briefed regarding the value addition, its need for horticulture sector and the importance, what kind of importance we are having the value addition with regards to the horticulture produce especially. She also imparted some knowledge on government initiatives to boost production of horticulture products. So this is about all the technical session throughout these 2 days. So finally, I can say it was a great experience for all of us and for our participants, I think. And we have the wonderful sessions throughout these 2 days. And the topic was, we know that it's a very relevant with regards to our farmers as well as our other stakeholders. Nowadays, we know that production is not the problem, but I think marketing is the problem. So our farmers are facing the problems regarding to marketing, how they market, how they find the market, how they are getting the premium prices for their products. So I think the webinar will be great fullness and helpful for our farmers as well as our other stakeholders, including our students, researchers, and policymakers. So hope you all enjoyed the webinar, and thank you for your time and valuable inputs for these throughout these 2 days. So this is from my side. So now over to you, Rachna, for further proceeding of the session, plenary session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for highlighting and briefing all the issues and topics covered in this 2 days webinar. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to request Dr. K.S. Chadha, Professor and Head, Department of Agricultural Economics, BSc AU Anand, for putting his valuable insights and for his remarks. Over to you, sir. Dr. K.S. Chadha, sir.
Good afternoon to all.
Yes,
Respected Kamalkar sir, Pundir sir, and all others, the faculty members of the IABMI, Rachna, on occasion of 75th year celebration of BSCA Ka Amrut Mahotsav, Department of Agriculture Economics, BSCA, and UNHAP Caste IABMI, AAU Anand organized a 2 days webinar under the theme of Emerging Agriculture Marketing Trend and Challenges. Considering this theme, experts have delivered a lecture on different topics and provided very good facts. We all aware that production is not the basic problem considering the farmer point of view, but agriculture commodity marketing is a very crucial problem. In marketing, demand, supply, and price are the basic factors for increasing or decreasing the net profit of the productions, and generally perishability, bulkiness, seasonality are the basic characteristics in agricultural productions. It directly, indirectly affects on the price as well as the net profit derived by the farmers. Moreover, more than 70% farmers in India covered under marginal or small category. They mostly produce what they have needed for their family purpose, and hence they have very little quantity as marketable surplus. So they do not try to sell it at distant prices and do not follow the all other needy practices in marketing to receive the higher prices. At the end, in most of cases, they do not able to fulfill their liabilities and do not complete needy operations in time due to unavailability of the capital in hand, and hence they haven't create proper documents which needed for credits. To solve this problem, our experts have explained different way. That is the cooperative marketing, FPO, as well as ENAM and all others. Here they generally all have same aspects, that to gather the little quantity of individual and make it big lot and sell it on a distant places with valuation, processing, and some parts also export to abroad, make the proper grading, packing, and considering research needy marketing trends in all agricultural commodities. The day consumers prefer to use the processed and value-added products not only in developed country but in India also. Hence, most of the grain productions absorbs in domestic consumptions, but more opportunity to make value additions, processing, and exports in fruits and vegetable crops. In that line, such type of the webinar provided diversion in all angle, that the production, in production side, what to produce, when to produce, how much to produce, and in marketing side, when to sell, how to sell, how much to sell, and also gave a proper guidance to the policymakers, farmers, and researchers also. In considering all these points, in initial stage, when the Ganga ma'am thinks about to arrange such type of the webinar and discuss in between our faculty, at that time we said that you first contact to the Pundit sir, Raj sir, and then finalize it. And I very much thankful of both the Raj sir and Pundit sir. They allow to arrange such type of the webinar in collaboration with the Department of Agriculture Economics. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now, moving forward, it is my honor to announce today's chief guest of this plenary session, Dr. S.S. Kalamkar, Director and Professor, Agroeconomic Research Center, Sardar Patel University, Anand. Actually, these kind of webinars gives us a platform where we get opportunities and exposure to take your advantage, your expertise comments in various dynamic issues. So I am requesting you, sir, to enlighten us with your vast experience and knowledge in the field of research as well as marketing. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rachna Bansal, ma'am, for kind words. It is really my proud privilege to be a part of today's webinar on emerging agriculture marketing trends and challenges, organized jointly by the Center for Agriculture Marketing Intelligence under the NAHEP cast of IBMI and the Department of Agriculture Economics, BA College of Agriculture, Anna Agriculture University. Respected Professor R.S. Pundit sir, being a great leader who has been taking up a very challenging task, and it has been proved so successfully taking the NAHEP CAST project, and it has really put the Anand Agriculture University at a very top ranking with all the hard work which has been put together by all the staff of the ABMI and the Department of Economics. So I really congratulate him. Also the Department of Economics, Professor Jadhav, which leadership is also taking up the department to give collaborative work in a topic of such an importance, which not only keep the ball trolling at the various forums to discuss about the various emerging trends in the marketing. Dr. Ganga Devi, Dr. Rachna Bansal, and we have our expert, Dr. Narendra Singh sir, also with us, and other dignitaries in this plenary session. And I'm thankful for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this plenary session. Ladies and gentlemen, the topic which has been discussed for the last 2 days in online webinar is of very importance. That too, when we are talking about withdrawing of 3 bills or the orders and the recent situation assessment survey by the NSSO, where the income of the farmers has been only been estimated to 10,290 rupees, which put to think back to us that when we have been talking about being a global producer in terms of the many commodities, whether you talk about the food and whether you talk about the fruits, whether you talk about the vegetable, whether you talk about the fiber crops, and whether you talk about the product like milk, the agriculture product, which has crossed a milestone and been the largest producer in the world. As Professor Jadhav sir has made a mention that though we are the largest producer, we are the consumers as well. However, the topic which has been taken for the seminars are very appropriate one, because as such we have crossed the limit of target of getting a self-sufficiency by having increase of food grain production, agriculture diversification, emerging trend in horticulture, free trade, exports, biological techniques, artificial intelligence, water management initiatives, modern greenhouses, GIS-based agriculture, data from the sky drone, we are going to take it. So many things we have concentrated on the production aspects. So the aspect recently has been changed toward the marketing. When we are talking about the marketing, obviously, it has been said very clearly, unless the product is not been marketed properly, the full chain of production to marketing is not get completed. And agricultural marketing in India is still suffer from the inefficiency, disconnect between the prices received by the producer and consumer, fragmented marketing channel, poor infrastructure, and the policy distortion. Of course, these things must have been discussed during the seminar, which I am going to flag before you. But just to get into the newcomers, which can touch upon the research and the in-depth analysis if they want to do. Now we have done a very successful target achievement in terms of production, remuneration, everything which we have done. But we could not get into the proper channel of getting a market rate of our produce. Of course, we have village market, primary market, seaboard market, secondary market, tertiary market, wholesale market, retail market, short-term market, and many things so. In terms of the marketing, I think the attention was been lost after the getting achievement of a production. Though there is a 7,246 regular markets, and those markets which has been trying to capture the need of marketing aspects of the produce which we have. And there is an increase in the marketed surplus than the marketable surplus, as most of the commodity has been getting poured into the sales in the market through the various channels. But the market which we have, or whatever the rural periodic markets which we have, 21,238, they are not able to attain the volume of the produce which is coming to the market. And there are the various marketing reforms. In fact, we have a policy, food policy and parastatals in India, where the government intervention has been there since long, because government has to try to make a balance between the consumer and the producers. And unfortunately, maybe they have been more inclined towards the safeguarding the consumer than the producers. So there are various reforms, and I'm very happy that the NIHEP CAST and the Agriculture Department is trying to do the capacity building, that to more particularly to the young researchers who must know about what process generally been followed in terms of the marketing of the agriculture produce and what are the challenges they have been facing. I know that agriculture marketing reforms, Dr. Narendra Singh sir must have been highlighted many issues which have been already in the literature and he has been talked about. But let me flash about the concerns of the central government, which has tried to put some kind of a guidelines to the state government in order to make some changes in the law which has been implemented by the states. As all of us are aware of that, the marketing is the state subjects, and the central government generally provides the guidelines in order to go for changes in the marketing, so that the producer can get into the due share in the consumer rupee. At the same time, the agriculture remains the profitable, the remunerative, the crop cultivation. But it so happened, if you look at in the back, the reforms which was been started in 2003, and the status of those marketing reforms in 2016 was also somehow the partial adoption, like establishment of private market yard, private marketing management committees, establishment of direct purchase of agriculture produce, and then the promoting of the e-trading, establishment of the farmers or consumer market management committees, contract farming, single point levy, and so many other things were being talked about. But unfortunately, these were the partial adoption on the part of many states. And whatever the core heart of the reforms were not being properly adopted. Then we had some changes, and the time has come where farmers have started making their own roads to get the sale of their produce. Then started with the direct marketing, then started with the e-markets, starting with the contract farming. Rather contract farming, it comes with the contact farming. Professor Pundit sir is well aware about. People are more been having in a contact rather than having the contract. Then FPO have been come up and government has been focusing more about the grouping of the farmers in order to make a production and sale of their produce, and such and so more. I rather would like to say that our researchers should look into there are very good models are coming up in terms of marketing of a produce. Let me share you one of my experience and visit to the collective livestock fodder marketing, which I have observed in the Aroli village of Nagpur district in Maharashtra. Now, farmers are not depending on any kind of support or something which comes to the FPO or something. They are trying to come in collectively, putting all their resources collectively, and they have very successfully implemented the model. And I urge all the researchers, rather looking at the existing what is happening, we as a researcher need to put forth to the policymakers, there are the successful models which can be replicated. As we have Amul, where we are sitting and advocating the word about the value of the cooperatives, unfortunately, which cannot be replicated in all the parts of India, maybe because of some way or other reasons, because of having a peculiarity of the markets, peculiarity of other supportive infrastructure which Anand has or the around the area Gujarat has. But there are the another cases also, as I am mentioning about you regarding the collective livestock fodder marketing in Aroli village of Nagpur. I personally visited, where I have seen that, as you know, when we talk about food security and nutrition security, the livestock is the most important, and the continuum of supportive subsidiary occupation for most of the farmers, and which can be meet the need of the nutrition as well as the safeguarding the income to the farmers if there is going to be some problem in the regular agriculture. And let me tell you, Dr. Ulla Chandrabhan Nimkar, who has motivated the farmers, and they have started cultivating the Napier grass cultivation, and they are chopping those grass and selling in the nearby markets in Nagpur and others. And they have been getting a huge support from the Vidarbha and Marathwada dairy development projects. I think NDDB has also taken a note of this, and we have also reported this success story to the POM office, I think 4 months back. So the reforms which are there, I think reforms has some kind of state government supportive natures in order to adopt that, so that it can reap the advantage of a real discovery of price. The reforms should make in a such a way that that should not add into the cost of marketing. It should rather make availability of market to the producer, and he can gain the price difference in view of what consumer pays. I think any technology which we talk about in agriculture, it should not add to the cost of cultivation. Same the way with the marketing reform should not add the cost to the marketing as such. Otherwise, the margin which we say about the profit to the farmers should be lower down. E-Nam has been there. It will take a time to reach to the farmers. As such, we need to convince them. We need to make them understand. It will take a time. I fully of this opinion. And after a decade, it may shape in a proper way. But today it is struggling, and it will take a time, basically, which I feel. So whatever the marketing reforms and the emerging marketing reforms, there are the credit and credit plus approach was also the earlier case. But how to tackle with the locking of our farmers with the purchaser like commission agents? This is a big task to break today, because farmers are getting locked with the commission agents, and that has not been sufficiently discussed and been elaborated in many policy documents. If you go to the villages, you talk with the farmers, you will come to know they have already been talked with this commission agent, taken the money from them, and they have to sell their produce to the same person because they have given a commitment. I think this locking up of farmers, as long as it is there, we will be getting into the low success of new models, which we have been talking about. Even contract farming, where the agencies which have been getting a MOU signed, been more inclined toward the profit, because farm is the profit, not a social work which they have been doing. And in that, the arbitration, the grievances are rarely been addressed. I think the farmers, being a producer, has a very few rights to say in this. Then second comes of the online markets, prospect and challenges. Of course, Professor Swaminathan must have talked about. Online marketing has one more the issue of having our connectivity of a farmers to the seller, and how the repayment, how the redressal mechanism, how would be the need of a farmers will be satisfied. There are so many issues are been already present there, which we need to tackle one by one. There are the group farming. If you talk you are close by NCDFI, the fantastic the model which has been working on the union level, and I must say that such model should be put forth where the FPO should put together and register and should do the marketing of a product collectively, and there should be some way out to meet the need of the farmer just after the harvest of the produce. Then only those kind of group can work like NCDFI. Thanks to the NCDFI and NDDB, who I think our students must learn that model. I'm very impressed, and Professor Subekar is really working hard on that. Then processing and marketing of agriculture produce. Now I have visited recently the nearby Anand markets, but farmers are really been very committed to go for value addition and the processing, even sorting and grading, because they feel that even though we grade it, we sort it, there is going to be two types of produce available with them. One produce may get a better price, but second produce is going to get a half a price. So on an average, when they go for maybe simple average, not a weighted average, they feel that why to make a investment in terms of a labor when the prices are not so lucrative, in terms of a consumer is not so well thought to taking up that. So I think this is the most important area where we should think of. And I have been a member of a committee appointed by the government of Maharashtra about this. And I personally feel that better we should go for having the value addition processing industries nearby the villages rather than getting concentrated to the urban areas. Whatever the produce is being produced in that area, we must build the warehouses, processing, value addition, storage close to the villages so that you can generate the employment, you can generate a value addition, you can get a produce at a low transport cost, and also you can have some kind of progress in the rural areas rather instead of getting crowded into the urban areas. The state like Gujarat has no issue of a transportation. Very good roads are there, water is there, and the electricity is there. So, for example, rather getting a car plant in the Sanand, it should have been getting somewhere the land is been not productive instead of investing in the productive land. The same way, like we should have this thing. Organic produce seems to be very good to listen and been advocating by the many people. And we are the one top in India, maybe having a first organic university in the Halol. And our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Katharia, sir, is, I think, heading the in charge Vice Chancellor of the university. We have a lot of things to do in this organic. In fact, organic certification agencies are there in every state. And government has been trying to push some areas, and we should rather diverting the whole area. We need to put some area under organic, but there need to be a system of a separate marketing identification channel. When the same product is being sold in the same market where the regular product is sold, don't expect that you are going to get a premium prices. The consumer has a tendency to go for a low prices product if it is available, even though it is a non-organic, it is a chemical fertilizer produce. Don't talk about, because literacy has no role to play in this. He generally values in terms of money. We need a big continuous awareness program among the people. Though we have the high literacy rate, we need to literate them in terms of good health and good food. Literacy in good food is more important. Then only we are going to reap an advantage of a premium prices. Then from farmers producer organizations, a concept is very fantastic one. but farmers has to continuously work on putting together the produce and the marketing aspect of this. We are losing the sight on that. NABARD, though, has been a national level agency supporting this, but continuous monitoring support is needed from the higher level authorities. I would suggest as a policy measures, if you want the FPU to be built from the small plant to a big tree, if that to be happen, I think by creating a group is not only the solution, it has to be taken way forward. Rather, managed should have some training programs. The NIRDPR should have some kind of upgradation of their skills. And NABARD should continuously monitor these groups. Then only these groups are going to be sustained. Otherwise, they are going to lose their interest in FPO as such. Horticulture is a very emerging area, and the people have been realized the importance of horticulture, and people themselves have been adopting the fruits bowl. There are many areas like Maharashtra being called as a fruit bowl of India. Same thing, the Gujarat has a very good, the mangoes, Gujarat has a very good, now coming muskmelon, watermelon, papaya, what not. And the area where we are sitting, we get everything. I think the government should come out with supports to the processing of this produce. Horticulture certainly has a huge market as such, and marketing channels as regular teaching and been research. This morning only, Professor Pundi sir, I was talking with the head of department of PKV Akola. I said, sir, let us stop now the researching on marketing channels of a crop as such, rather going into the in-depth of such a successful or a failure cases where we can try to come out with good policy implication which state government or a central government can look into and support to revive if they are not able to get into success. As such, the new marketing channels which we have put together, it should come from the collective nature of the farmers. Farmers should come collectively in order to make their production to be graded, packed, and marketed. I think the days has gone where you or farmers look forward to have an intervention from the government like ENAM and others. Of course, that would be some will be able to withdraw some output from the market, but there is a huge marketed surplus in the market as such, and farmers as a consumer has inbuilt a tendency to sell and purchase later. So he's been getting disadvantage when he purchase, as well as he's been disadvantages when he sell the produce at a lower price. I really compliment and congratulate the whole team of Department of Agriculture Economics, and I must say compliments of having a platinum 50 years of celebration of a BSCA college as Amrut Mahotsav. It is a long journey, may not be for the institutions, but for people who have been working and attached with these institutions. So compliment to BSCA college and the principals over there. And of course, Dr. K.B. Kateria sir deserves this leadership, who has been taking the university at new heights. And I've always been quite privileged to be at Institute of Agribusiness Management or Department of Economics to Vasided. I learned a lot from many presentations there. Of course, Dr. Pundi himself is a very enthusiastic person and been a team leader to take everyone with him, which can be seen from the success of this NAHEP CAST programs. Compliments to him and the institution, Department of Economics, and Dr. K.B. Katheria sir for thanking him also for giving me this opportunity. I hope being a last session, it has always been good to be a limited one, and because the other people must have heard the Dr. Narendra Singh and others experts. They are the experts who has been researching. I would look forward to see the policy brief coming out of this seminar, and we will keep working together. Once again, thank you once and all, Dr. Ganga Devi and Professor R.S. Pundi sir, for giving me this opportunity, and of course Dr. Jadhav and Dr. Rachna Bansal ma'am for being always been so close and been connected with every activity of the department. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your thoughts-provoking address. Will set a platform for all the researchers and faculties to justify their areas of work with their full potential and strength. And it's always a love to hear from you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I'm going to propose a vote of thanks. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked really hard. A special thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. K.B. Kathiria, sir, Vice Chancellor, Anand Agricultural University, for being here with us in this 2 days webinar. You have always been generous with your time, what we need you no matter what. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our Director of Research and Dean PG Studies, Dr. M.K. Jala, sir, for always supporting and guiding us. Your thoughts have truly inspired and enlightened our mind always. Thank you, sir. I'm immensely thankful to Dr. R.C. Agarwal, DDG Education and National Director, NAHIP ICR New Delhi, and Dr. Prabhat Kumar, National Coordinator, NAHIP CAST, ICR New Delhi, for their enormous cooperation, expertise, comments, and for sharing their ideas. It will surely be going to encourage us in the future. I need to mention my deepest sense of appreciation towards our 2 days chief guest, Dr. S.S. Kalamkar, Director and Professor, AERC SPU Anand, for accepting our invitation and giving a new direction to our mind in this recent era. Thank you, sir. I'm also thankful to our keynote speaker, Dr. Narendra Singh, sir, for his warm presence in the inaugural session as well as in the plenary session, for sharing his knowledge and experience throughout the 2 days webinar. Thank you, sir. My heart fills with loads of gratitude and respect for our distinguished guest speakers, not only for sparing their valuable time for us to grace the occasion virtually, but also for enlightening us with their commendable talks on the different subjects. Thanks all of you for clearing our concepts and enhancing our understanding pertaining to the emerging trends in marketing to the subject. Thank you all the speakers. I would also like to thank Dr. Vyam Shukla, Principal and Dean, BACA, AU, for his efforts and dedication to make this event as a part of celebration of 75 years of BACA, Amrit Mahotsav. I'm also thankful to Dr. R.S. Pundir, Principal and Dean, IABMI, and PI of this NAHIP CAST project for giving us such a nice opportunity and platform, and always be cordial with us. Thank you, sir. I'm running short of words to express my humble thanks to Dr. K.S. Chadha, Dr. Ganga Devi, and Dr. E.S. Sheikh for organizing these kind of webinars for enhancing and enriching our knowledge in the area of marketing. Thank you, all of you. I would be failing in my duty if I did not thank all the participants, faculties, supporting staff, and students who put their best efforts to make this event unforgettable and a success. I would like to thank each and everyone who directly and indirectly involved this project and this webinar and this event to happen. Thank you once again. Thank you to all.
Thank you, sir. So
Yes.
then we can leave, sir.
So now I think we end here these programs. Okay, thank you, sir,
this
very
is
much.
the end of the program.
Thank you, Kalamkar sir. Dr. Narendra Singh.
Sir, Kalamkar